This is truly a great question because when I came home from prison 17 years later, society had shifted. And not to mention that was at the very beginning of the pandemic. And I had to stay focused because there were different types of obstacles, from people's attitudes to my own mental health to a whole bunch of things that were going on in the world at the time. Obviously, if you're watching this post, you can relate. But what kept me focused, that thing or thought, was the simple fact that I didn't want to go back to prison. I didn't want to go back to a place of confinement. I didn't want to go back to a place where a CO or a prison staff member, who 9 times out of 10 definitely wasn't qualified to make any decisions in my life, had the capability to. I didn't want to go back to an environment where, when my family did come and see me inside of prison, 9 times out of 10 they were feeling drained afterwards, or maybe sometimes they even cried while in the prison visitation room. I didn't want to go back to an environment where I slept in a cell and had to share a small space of confinement with a complete stranger, a guy that I don't know and probably didn't want to be around respectfully. I just didn't want to go back to certain things in prison. And sometimes I would take 30 seconds, a minute, sometimes a little bit more, to reflect on just that if I didn't have anything else positive to focus on in the moment. Because let's be clear, some days, you don't really have that much positive going on. Like, outside of living, we were so grateful for that. But I'm just saying, sometimes I just had to be reminded, or take the time to remember, all of those extremely tough, horrible moments that I did not want to go back to. And also remembering that if I did go back, and we don't want that, I'm praying that I stay free forever. I'm not trying to get into nothing, right? But if I did, I'd be going back probably for a longer time. And I don't want to ever go back. That environment was traumatic. It almost took me out several times, a few times or whatnot, but I was able to survive that. And I did not want to go back into a situation where I would have to find a way to survive it again. So that's a thing of thought that kept me safe while integrating back into society. It was a great question. Hey, prison's real. We're not glorifying it. We're just educating people about it. Make sure you ask more questions if you got them about prison and reentry. Thank you for following, supporting, liking all that stuff, man. When it comes to the content, most importantly, stay free. Peace.